Hi, my name is Dr. Kate Ringham. I'm the Programme Lead in Applied Accounting in Oxford Brookes Business School at Oxford Brookes University. And the purpose of this video is to discuss word counts and how you manage them when you're writing your skills and learning statement and your research report. Both of these are of course requirements for your research and analysis project to earn your BSc in Applied Accounting. So let's just remind ourselves what the word counts actually are. So for the research report, the maximum number of words you can use is 7,500, and for the skills and learning statement, 2,000 words. But sometimes students ask us, why do we actually impose word counts? Well, it's part of the development of your professional skills. It's important as a finance professional to be able to write to a brief, which often includes a prescription about how long a piece of work might be. So a word count is emulating that. In order to write to a word count, you do need to develop the ability to prioritize information, and in particular the analysis and evaluation of information, and that's a really important professional skill as well. In order to manage the word count, you possibly will want to think about using diagrams to convey information, and again, that is something that employers really value. And you can also manage word count well by developing a clear structure. So in essence, we impose a word count to help you develop these professional skills. So when we're asked what's included in the word count, well, we include everything from the title to the final word, including words in tables and diagrams. This also includes the recently introduced requirement for a declaration that this is your own work. Please do look in the information pack to find out more information about that. What we don't include are the words that are included in your reference list. This is a separate document and is uploaded as one of your appendices. In terms of the structure and where to allocate your words, well, for the research report, this really does depend on whether you're using primary or secondary data. In the information pack, you will see suggested structures for primary and secondary data, and so it might be worth reviewing those. The important skill that you need to demonstrate in your research report is the ability to analyse and evaluate. So please do use plenty of words on your analysis and evaluation and avoid large amounts of description. For the skills and learning statement, recommendation is that you roughly split the word count between the two questions. Doesn't have to be to the absolute letter, just roughly divide the 2,000 words between the two questions. So in terms of how to manage the word count, well, when I'm writing an academic paper, for example, which also will have a word count imposed on it, I tend to work a little bit under the actual requirement. So in the research report, you might, for example, aim for 7,250 words, and then that allows you a little bit of flexibility. So if you do overrun, you don't have to spend a lot of time editing to bring your work back under the word count. If you are over the word count, then really do take the opportunity to ask yourself two questions. Is there a lot of description? If you're describing things, either remove it or condense it. Remember, you don't need to describe, for example, the contents of models. You can use a reference to actually refer to the contents of models. And then you might also want to ask, what's the most important? So make sure you are actually covering the most important pieces of information within your research report. What happens if you're under the word count? Well, if you're under the word count, and by significantly under, I would suggest that's maybe 6,500 words for the research report, 1,700 in the skills and learning statement, then you are unlikely to have covered the material in sufficient depth to demonstrate the required skills. And if you go over the word count and submit that, anything over the word count will not be marked. And obviously, if the part that's over the word count is absolutely essential for a criteria, such as the ability to draw conclusions, then of course you may end up failing that criteria, because whilst you may have included it in your research report, it wasn't marked because it was over the word count.